The final score, Wrexham 0, Cardiff City 2, and a huge frustration. 2 games in a row now, the Welsh Cup final and this game. We've lost 2-0 to Cardiff, but we've been the better side. We've been so impressive. The only thing that stopped us is that, Cardiff are superb. They won everything in the Welsh women's game last season. They got terrific quality, and if you don't take opportunities against a side like that, they'll punish you at some point. And this was exactly what happened, where Wrexham's excellence was wiped out by an utterly brilliant goal against a run of play, which turned the game in Cardiff's favour. Not that we gave up. I've got to say, before the match I was optimistic. Afterwards, I felt more optimistic. If Wrexham can keep playing at this level, we will at least match what we achieved last year, if not better it. Anyway, Wrexham starting off giving debuts to Lizzie Craven in goal and Nat Clark, who's playing at the back, and the opening exchanges, we looked very good. We were moving the ball around well. We had a lot of those up, back, through passing movements, releasing players from midfield into dangerous positions. We also notably used Liv Fuller on the right-hand side, and she was feeding some great balls down behind the wing-back Price for Rosie Hughes to run onto, and it all looked very fluent, very fluid, and very impressive. All our season, the Wrexham women's team built their quality higher and higher and higher. It was obvious how being semi-pro, having more time to work on things, having more time to work on fitness, really paid dividends. And having had a long pre-season, you could really see the benefits. This was crisp and sharp, and I felt the first half, in terms of quality of movement and bearing in mind the high quality of opposition we were up against, was maybe the best I've seen the women's team play. Our first chance came in the 5th minute, and it was one of Fuller's passes into the second hole. Rosie Hughes sprinting after it, into out, and Chamberlain, the keeper, came tearing out of the goal but couldn't get there. She did stay on her feet, though, to force Rosie Hughes into a situation where it was too tight to get a shot off. She was outside the box. Hughes, hit the goal line, drove the ball in, and it was put behind for a corner. Now, having said that, Michaela Owen was always a threat on the right-hand side. Hang on, it's not Michaela Owen. Thingy Owen was always a threat down the right for Cardiff, and she was getting in well. She was making some really good runs from right wing back, and because of that, they were actually carving out some half chances for themselves. Owen put in one cross, which Craven fumbled. Could easily have gone over the line. Very fortunate, because it hit her after it hit the ground on the way back up, but she managed to hold on to it before it did so. And then Kernock, playing ahead of Owen, was getting into good positions. A long ball over the top by Owen found Kernock, breaking in on the right-hand side. She drove the ball across the face of Wrexham's goal, but narrowly off target. And then another opportunity for Kernock, after Sharp had made an uncharacteristic error at the back, passing the ball out. Billingham intercepted, fed the ball in towards the edge of the area. Kernock with a good sight of goal, but she mishit it. Wrexham, though, throughout that period, was still having more of the ball, was still looking creative, and we went close halfway through the half, and Lily Jones hit a good free kick from 25 yards that went just over the bar. You could see Chamberlain was stretching for it and was struggling to reach it. If it had just been a yard or so lower, it would have been a goal. And then, as we continue to push on, with the midfield looking really good, Brooke Gens really involved in everything. Lily Jones looking really mature and controlling in midfield. Gibbard really putting a terrific shift in. We carved out another couple of opportunities right at the end of the half. The final minute of the half, Lovett with a terrific ball down the left-hand side into the box. Gibbard latched onto it and fed the ball across the keeper. It was rolling just wide, but tantalisingly in front of an open goal. And unluckily for Wrexham, Fionn Price just got there ahead of Cara Jones, who would have just tapped it in from a foot out and was able to get the ball clear. Wrexham weren't finished, though. In the second minute of added time, Lily Jones did really well in midfield, beat one player and drove in a shot from outside the box. Too straight, though, and Karen Chamberlain handled it comfortably. But we started the second hand in a similar promising manner. Lily Jones feeding Cara Jones on the right. She worked it into the box. A similar sort of chance that I described earlier for Kernock, dropping for Gibbard, but she again didn't quite get hold of it, and threat had gone. And then in the 55th minute, like I said, against the run of play, Cardiff got that goal. And I've got to say again, please, although I'm saying we've been a better side in the two matches, I'm not underestimating Cardiff. They are superb. They are the gold standard that we have to match. And this goal was magnificent and illustrates that even though we're matching them in terms of performance, Cardiff have still got great players who can just step up and pull something out. It was Fionn Price on this occasion, 55th minute, free kick, a good 25 yards out left of centre, and she absolutely nailed it over the wall into the top left corner. An utterly brilliant goal. And that's the problem when you play good teams, isn't it? They often have good players who are quite keen to spoil your day. We made a change. Amber Lightfoot came on for Rosie Jones, but for about 10-15 minutes, this was our roughest part of the match. We were struggling to get back into it. We weren't getting our rhythm back. Cardiff are buoyed by this and starting to move the ball around a little bit better. They had another opportunity when Price fed the ball into the penalty area. Collie was latching onto it, looking to tap in her first goal of the season. Great work by Katie Sharp to get her foot in and get the ball clear. But with 20 minutes left, a brilliant move by Wrexham seemed to spark us into life. It started off with Lily Jones making a really good tackle. She hooked it to Lightfoot, who squared it. Cairns popped it into Gibbard and she worked it across the face of goal, but Suckley's shot from just inside the box, right of centre, whistled just over the bar. It was a super move, highly promising. Suckley by now had gone up front and Wrexham continued to push on. We made changes actually straight after that, a double change. Gibbard came off for Rebecca Pritchard to come on, so that we now had Lightfoot and Pritchard as proper sort of wing backs, getting up at attacking wing backs, and then Iddenden came on for a debut, replacing Suckley up front. And Wrexham really tried to push hard. Quarter of an hour left, another great piece of pressure by Wrexham. Pritchard breaking down the right, tried to get back onto her left foot and cross it. Mishit it a little, I think, but it carried to Lightfoot on the other flank. Lightfoot popped it back to Cairns and she drove a terrific shot from 25 yards. Really good save by Karen Chamberlain to lunge to her left and push it round the post. And then from the corner we went close again. Lily Jones cleverly from the corner, picking out Iddenden on the edge of the area. She drove in a shot, blocked by Walklett. It fell to Cairns and she drove in a shot from about 8 yards. Blocked again by Walklett. Great defending by Walklett to deny Wrexham, but we kept on pushing, and from that the ball was cleared out into midfield. Lovett picked her up and lofted a tempting ball into the edge of the 6-yard box. Karen Chamberlain, the keeper, attacked it. Liv Fuller attacked it as well. I've got to be honest, as the ball was coming in towards them, I thought Fuller's going to get above Chamberlain here and head it into an empty net. Chamberlain did very well to lunge and punch it. My immediate thought was the way she followed through, was it a foul on Fuller? Absolutely not. I was completely wrong once I watched the replay. I could see that. It was interesting though. I mean, I've got to say Chamberlain is the best goalkeeper in the division. I think everybody acknowledges that. She's not very tall, and that was why the ball in for Fuller to attack had some potential. But she's very decisive, and so she does well in the air because she attacks the ball and she looks to take responsibility. She'd got a good punch in on it. Although when you watch it from the reverse angle, you can really see how she hasn't really got her body under it. She's looked to jump next to it so she can get a swing and punch it, which is absolutely fine, but maybe it's slightly dangerous when you're under that sort of pressure. Because like I said, they collided a split second after she punched it. In those situations, sometimes it's better to get your body behind it to make sure you get a touch. If she'd misjudged it slightly, or her arm had been brushed but the ref didn't feel it was enough contact, she could have been in trouble. But the luck didn't go Wrexham's way, and it certainly didn't with 8 minutes left, with us on top of the game and working hard to find an equaliser when we let in a really frustrating one. Essentially a hacked ball over the attack, and Cardiff in the closing stages, Wrexham tried to up the tempo, were forced to hack the ball clear, which is not their style. They're a good passing team out from the back. On this occasion though, launching it through the middle worked because Collie and Sharp looked to converge on the ball. So Nat Clark stepped across but failed to make it to hit failed to play the ball, failed to take Collie out, which could well have been a red card admittedly, but did block Sharp, which meant that Collie was suddenly all on her own running through the middle. Nice finish by her. She just sat Craven down and lifted it over inside the left post. Still Wrexham kept pushing even though at 2-0 down so late. Chances weren't that great. Fuller pulling a free kick square to Cairns. He tried another long range shot with 3 minutes left but couldn't get it on target. Within a minute, Lightfoot pulling the ball back, and Lovett popping it inside to Cairns. He helped it on again, nice move, but Pritchard looking to curl it in with her left foot as she came in from the right flank, just put it wide of the far post. With 2 minutes left, it was a good effort and close, and if that had gone in, oh, we'd have had some fun. As it is, we kept pushing on. First minute of added time, Lily Jones knocking the ball into the box, Cara Jones chasing it, but Chamberlain did ever so well. She had a very high starting point. Like I said, she's a front foot goalkeeper, and as a result of that, she's able to beat Cara Jones to it just about outside the box and launch it clear, and that was the end of our promise. But it was a good performance. Like I said, I'm really, really impressed with the way that we've gone about this. I'm very happy indeed. Looking at the team's performances, well, I mean, firstly, I say Del Morgan was not available for Wrexham, but Lizzie Craven came in to make her debut and goal. Did all right. Had that nervous moment dropping it, but she couldn't be blamed for either of the goals. Then Fuller. It was interesting. We had a sort of hybrid-y sort of 3 at the back, 4 at the back system. Fuller on the right-hand side. I mean, she's just so good on the ball. She ended up playing the last 20 minutes in midfield and caused problems because she's so good on the ball. She's so calm in defence. There was one wonderful moment where she just disarmed Kehoe in brilliant style. She is such a class act. Craven did okay on her debut, although I think she might look at the second goal and be a little disappointed. Sharp was excellent, I thought. Passing, as always, was ambitious and positive. She was decisive in the box and made some crucial interceptions. And Erin Lovett was terrific as well, up and down the left-hand side. Obviously robust in her tackling as always. Made a couple of good recoveries as well where people had done it for pace, but she came back and made excellent challenges. In the centre of the pitch, Lily Jones, again, like I said, had authority. She really did look like, I've got a year in the top level under my belt now. I know how it works. I can try to run games. She will run games this season. She did ever so well. Cairns alongside her as well. Always around the ball. Excellent energy. Really good pressuring of the ball and pressing. Good use of the ball as well. And the same can be said for Mary Gibbard, who was trying to get up and support the strikers. And, again, put in an excellent shift when we didn't have the ball. On the flanks, Cara Jones, again, Cara Jones, 100% effort, sharpness, goal threat, all of that again today. Couldn't quite get into the right positions, so unlucky to be beaten to that loose ball under the bar, but it was a good performance by her. Ava Suckley. Well, the problem for Ava Suckley, of course, is that she's got so much talent, we sort of can use her anywhere, so she was very wide on the left-hand side, having to come back and defend sometimes. Played some neat passes, and had that effort right before she was taken off, which was unfortunate. Her willingness to have a dip from distance is one of her strengths. Rose Hughes up front was unlucky, couldn't quite get into the game, worked very hard, picked up an early yellow card as well for a challenge on a halfway line, and will have been frustrated with how it went, I think, to be honest, after being pulled off after an hour. The substitutes made a big impact. Amber Lightfoot was excellent down the left-hand side, really progressive, good passing of the ball, as ever, carried the ball well. Rebecca Pritchard on the right, likewise, with both those players, you know what you'll get from them. They will step forwards, they will get involved in play, and they will make chances. Idendon was eager up front and looked to make an impact. It was difficult for her. I mean, it's her first game for us. She hasn't had much of a pre-season either, and I think within the camp people are very confident that she's going to really develop into a fine attacking player, but she's not quite up to speed yet. But she showed a lot of grit, and she's got height as well, and I think that could be very useful for us too. So like I said at the start, the overriding feeling I've got is that I felt optimistic before. Now I feel exceptionally optimistic because we can take Cardiff on. We didn't do it just once. It wasn't a one-off, that Welsh Cup final. We did it again. It was terrific to watch. And the support of the crowd, by the way, who were very vocal, was excellent. Nearly 600. So I think I'm right, it was much more than any men's Welsh League game over the weekend. So tremendous stuff. Big game on Sunday, though. Britain Ferry, long trip. And they want revenge, don't they? Because we beat them. Well, we beat them in the playoff 2 seasons ago to get promoted. We also beat them twice in both cups last season as well. They will want revenge, and they're feisty. So that's a proper test. But we need to be getting points from the teams that aren't Cardiff and Swansea consistently if we're going to keep up with those big two. I was really encouraged, but I can't wait till Sunday. It's a big game, that. With the final score, of Wrexham 0, Cardiff City 2. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.